Hello and welcome back to Average Guy's Garage. We're back at the 2000 Dakota. We've got a few things to sort out, but the first one is the power steering is leaking, and we're trying to determine if it is the pump itself, the seal on the pump, or maybe one of the hoses. We had this problem a couple years ago, maybe 3 years ago, and we replaced the high pressure hose, and that took care of the problem. So I was down looking at it underneath and see that there is steering fluid seeping from that hose. So after I wiped it off, it started to come back, but I don't know whether that was from the oil leaking at the top and working its way down. So I'm going to go underneath and just kind of show you that. So here we are underneath, and this hose with the coupling is the high pressure hose, and the one next to it that doesn't have the fitting on it is the return hose, which is low pressure. But you can kind of see it's pretty messy down here. And even going up there to work on it is going to be a mess. So I think I'm going to spray some degreaser on the bottom of the engine here first. And then we'll go from there. Let that work. And then wipe it off. And then we'll be able to get at it better. Because wherever that leak is, it is just getting all over everything under here. Trying to determine where the issue is. Alright, well, I've cleaned it up a little bit. So the first thing I'm going to do is take off this connection here. Hopefully that's going to drain out into this pan here. Hopefully that'll drain out whatever's left in the reservoir. And then I'll go up top and take off the upper connector. And then I need to determine whether or not I'm supposed to put anything on that fitting, you know, like Teflon tape or like you do on water connections, and see if there's something I'm supposed to do before I put that back in. Maybe there's directions with the new part. We'll check that out. Alright, had a little more consultation before I started that and found out that the best is to remove the lower one first. Remove the hose from the reservoir first. Not sure if I'm getting a good picture of that. So I removed, that's the end of the hose sitting right there, right in the center of the frame. And that was a 5/8 on the top side to get that off. So I'm letting it drain into a pan, and then I'm going to go down to the bottom and undo that one. So I got out the new hose to check to see what the instructions were for the O-ring, determining the standard captive swivel O, type 1, type 2. Looks like we have the standard O-ring. So the installation says les nouveaux joints toriques sont fournis dans cette roue. Ils doivent être installés. Oh, wait a minute. Let me go back. Oh, here we go. New O-rings are provided with the kit. They must be installed. Okay, I got it now. And that's the one there. And sorry for my bad French. So here are the O-rings installed. And be very careful not to tear or damage the O-ring. If you do, you'll probably end up with a leak again, but from a different spot right here instead of wherever it's leaking on the hose. Alright, there's the old one. It is out on the ground. That's about, I think that's a 3/4 that took the bottom fitting off. So now I've already put the new one up in here. And I've got the new one place, but not tightened all the way down yet. So I'm going to go do the bottom one in case I have to finagle it a little bit, and then come back up and tighten the top one. Okay, here is where the old one came out. This is the low pressure, like we said. This hanging here is some wrap from the cable. So now I'm going to get the new one in there, figure out how that's going to go, and then we will tighten it all up. Alright, the lower part is in, the top part is in snug. On these hoses, that high pressure side is about 1500 psi, so snug those down pretty tight. Now I've filled up the reservoir and I'm going to give it a start. Turn the steering wheel back and forth a few times to get the air bubbles out, check the reservoir level again, and then we'll run it and see if check for leaks again. Alright, so I have driven it and don't see any leaks at the top or the bottom. Of course, if the other hose had a hole or had a failure somewhere along the line, it would have showed up toward the bottom as that oil leaked down toward the rack and pinion. So we're going to just call that a good fix for Average Guy's Garage. We'll keep an eye on it the next couple days and make sure that that was the fix. If it was in fact the seal on the power steering pump, then that'll be the next thing. The part at your parts store for this cost about $20. Thanks for watching.